So I don't know how many of y'all been following this whole situation with T.I, 50 Cent. Apparently, there had been a versus in the works. They had been talking about it. And yeah, T.I and 50 both talked about it. 50 Cent, this ain't even what I would call the usual 50 Cent stuff. This is just some next level BS. But for whatever reason, 50 Cent kind of reneged and he just went totally left field with it. Ended up posting a picture of Tiny, pretty disparaging image. I'm not going to show the picture on here, but it's pretty disparaging. And in response to that, T.I.'s son King responded. He got real disrespectful, but you know, this just goes back to all the videos that I made about 50 Cent and the conversations that we had. Like at some point, and you know, 50's supposed to be one of those guys. He got the 50th law, and he's supposed to be one of those 48 laws of power guy. Well, he's not that good at this because he should have read in there that you shouldn't go past the mark, right? Hit what you aim for, learn when to stop. 50's problem is he don't know when to stop. And for his age and for his status. For his status and what he's trying to do with his life, enough is enough at this point. I don't really see too many people having a problem with how King responded, although, you know, some people did say that they think he went too far. But you can be the judge of that. We got a video about Wayno. Wayno kind of got all the clips in one, so we'll just kind of use this video and react to this and go from there.
It seems as if 50 Cent cannot stay out of the headlines when it comes to BS. As always. All right, so look, right? A couple of weeks ago, or about a week ago, we covered, you know what I'm saying? We covered with 50 Cent and T.I going back and forth over doing a versus. Now, I feel like T.I has always been respectful in his approach. T.I ain't never started no trouble. T.I ain't never started no problems with nobody. And even at the point where he has problems with somebody, he's always kept that clean. You feel me? Because I feel like for him as an artist and as a man, he just never really felt like he had nothing to hide and nothing nobody could ever use against him. Now, let's revisit the video that didn't start this. Well, it did start it years ago, but then T.I did $1 million worth of game. He gave some clarity as to why we're having this conversation right now.
I get it, buddy. Now, I know it's your birthday, man, and I celebrate you.
Yes, sir.
But if you get a chance, you hear me? You hear me, Kevin?
I'm listening to you. Yeah, I'm listening to you.
If you get a chance,
yes, sir.
Please tell 50 bring his ass on out here and get this smoke.
Oh, Jesus.
Please tell 50 Cent get his hit records and come on and sit down and see what the South got to say.
Jesus Christ. You say you want that man to see all four.
And let's be honest, y'all. Let's be honest. 50 ain't got nothing on T.I when it comes to a versus. I look, I don't care how many of you look, 50 got some hits. He do. But he ain't got T.I level hits, bro. I don't care what you say. In a versus, 50 gonna run out. He gonna run out of ammo. Tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong. If I'm lying, I'm flying. You feel me?
I want him to see what the South got to say. Now listen, hey, I'm the king below the Mason-Dixon line, king of the South. I speak for all of the Southern people. New York been saying under their breath about us and having little slick ass comments about us, thinking it's all slow down here. But they want to come down here and go to our malls and go to our clubs. But then they want to kick it like substandard when they get back up top. Well, that stop right now.
Yeah, you say you done with that.
That stop right now. Damn it.
You say you done.
The king say that stop. He say he the king of New York, and if he don't want to do it, and one of them other there who got a catalog want to pull up, tell him come see the king. Don't come around me. Come sit down with me.
Hey, what New York rapper could go up against T.I in the verses? What New York rapper? And I'm talking about more like his contemporary, right? More like that. I mean, you can, I know some of y'all gonna pull Jay-Z out the hat. I mean, that's fine. That's fine too. That's fine too. That's legit. But let's say besides Jay-Z, which New York rapper would give T.I a run for his money in the verses?
Hey, I'm not gonna lie to you, too. I'm here for it.
Tell him come see.
Yeah, after this, just went left because 50 commented King Rat. you know what I'm saying, under the post. And Tip commented, "You playing on my name. Only one of us is a rat in real life. You know I got your paperwork right. And my transcript is available online. Your excuses is useless. Get your ass in a box and shut the F up. And I live in fear." Excuse me. He said, "You soft, son. You lost my respect, you effing duck." All right, so look, right? At that point, you know, when 50 started posting stuff like, you know, the Crime Stoppers video and all of that, like things that we've all seen, it took a left turn that didn't need to go there, because I looked at it from this perspective.
I'm telling y'all, man, this is 50's way of getting out of it, because he know he can't win. But this is what he does all the time. It's a distraction, bro. 50 be really scared, man. He be scared of shit, right? Whether it be stuff coming out, whatever. These are scare tactics, man. But the thing is, everybody already said what they're gonna say about T.I. and this whole court situation, this, that, and the other. It is what it is. But that doesn't mean you still can't have the verses. Have the verses anyway, and talk. You could talk crazy to him on the stage while you doing your songs. Nah, and 50 didn't want no parts. I'm telling you.
Perspective. I feel like them would have been a fire ass verses, just off the simple fact that music captures a time.
Yeah, no, the music would have been good. It would have been fire, but T.I. would have won.
Them early 2000s, you know what I'm saying, up until now. And I told y'all before, T.I. still got it as far as rapping.
Yeah, you do. Yeah,
you know what I mean? When T.I. get on somebody's song, it still goes. A lot of times in the more recent years, 50 done did feature verses, and they ain't paying out how you would think they would. Remember when he was on Nas' album, on Magic, you know what I mean? We kind of forgot that happened, right? All right, whatever, cool. But now it's taking another disrespectful turn. But before we get there, T.I. was on $1 Million Worth of Game, and he started speaking specifically about how this even came about, why it was going the way it was going, and if it'll even happen.
So first, like, you know, it was really about celebrating each other's catalog. Me and then talk back there, bro. This shit ain't just called out the blue. Yeah. Me and talk back there.
You talking about you were 50?
Yeah, man. We talk about this shit, man. This shit come out of nowhere. Right. We were moving around in LA, man, selling some TV shows and shit while we were around each other, man. You know what I mean? I said, "Shit, what you think about this? Like, you want to do that shit?" I said, "Yeah." He was like, all right, cool. So I told him, I said, "Well, I'm gonna jump out there first, and then you just gonna jump out there and we'll line it up." Right. And he said, "All right." And when I jump out there, like he ain't know what the fuck going on. Then that's what it was about. You know what I'm saying?
And see, that part right here is what make it corny, right? That's what make it corny, man. All y'all people who defend 50, bro, this is the corny part of it. Like, if you really didn't mess with T.I. like that, just say that. Nah, I'm good. Whatever. But he let him think it was cool. We gonna do this, right? It's corny. And then that's one thing. But then to go into the part of left field that 50 went is a whole other situation. It's a whole other situation.
Yeah. It bad. Oh, you playing? Okay, you gonna play. All right, cool. But how about all of it? All of it. I don't even want man. Cause now I question your character.
But here's the thing, though. You just questioning his character. 50 been showing these dudes who. The problem is, when 50 do stuff, people would just always laugh it off. Oh, that's 50. He trolling. That's 50. This, that, and the other. That's him. There's something more to it than just that, man. Y'all don't let this dude get away with this, and now since it come and bite you, you know, you really see how it is. You rightfully feel disrespected, but I mean, look, he showed y'all already over and over again, so this ain't new.
And gonna get kick that kind of shit in, you know, man. You just say you don't want to do it. All the other extra lame ass. Man, this goofy.
So y'all talked about it, you saying? You went out there.
Years ago. Years ago we spoke about it.
I think it'd be a great battle, though. I think,
man, that shit ain't gonna happen. That shit ain't gonna happen, man. I don't want to stand on stage with him. I have no interest in standing on stage with that. I don't respect him.
Now it's taking another turn. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because he done posted a picture of Tiny, and that's the lame T.I is talking about, right? Regarding how he handles things in these situations. Now, I just feel like it's corny as a man to be beefing with another man, to have a problem with a man and just have something to say about their woman, right? Y'all know the story. All right, so anyway, 50, he posts a picture of Tiny and he says, I keep saying, keep my name out your mouth, and puts up like a shrug emoji and says, okay. Now, again, man, Tiny ain't bothering nobody. Let's talk about the Harris family as a totality. The Harris family don't bother nobody, man. Like, to me, I look at them as hip hop royalty. I don't know why it's not celebrated that a man is with his wife, raising his kids and his grandkids, and they all getting money, having fun. Like, that's no stat to me when I see 50 say something about Tiny. You know what I'm saying? Because Tiny don't bother nobody, right? But cool. Now, naturally, we all know I come from the your mother era. Like, if you couldn't take a joke about your mother, you was fighting immediately. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, your mother jokes kind of died down in the 2000s a bit. I don't know. I wasn't a kid then.
Yeah, but when we was joking like that, you had the sensitive dudes that couldn't take it. Then you just had some dudes that just, it didn't matter. They just made it all, it always sounded bad when they was joking. You know what I'm saying? So it didn't matter what they said, you was going to get mad. But this ain't like, they not ripping on each other. You feel me? They not like saying who could joke or who could say the craziest thing about that. That's not what this was. This was them talking about doing the verses, hyping it up. And pretty much that's it. And instead of that, and T.I thinking that's what it is, 50 go off and do something else. And I don't know, unless I missed something, T.I didn't say anything too crazy, right? He responded to what 50 doing. And 50 upped the ante by posting the pic of Tiny. This lets you know this is where Drake was getting his counsel from, bro. That's how you know this is who Drake was talking to during the battle. Who else would do some dumb shit like that? Right? For no reason. No reason at all. Same thing with the battle. There was no reason to bring Whitney into it. Same as in this case. There's no reason to bring Tiny into this, bro. You know, T.I didn't go off and start talking about 50 baby mama or 50 kid situation or his charges from back in. He ain't started talking about none of that.
But I know when I was a kid, man, said something about your moms, it was up. That's where word to my moms comes from, a word to mother. Like, that's where it comes from, because that was the one thing that was off limits. Now T.I.'s son then jumped in the mix. I ain't even mad at him for defending his mom. Now, do I think that this will go to some crazy level or some shit? No. People don't call Farrakhan no more. But let's just keep it a stack, man. Like, on that magnitude says something about your mother, and they already, you know, people already joke on King all the time. They already joke on him. You know what I mean? They already say things about him all the time, but let's see what he had to say.
How y'all ass raised? I'm not raised like that. I don't go. I'm not going about my mama. Nigga. I'm not going. So tell your dead ass mama, dig her ass up and post a picture that look better than my mama, nigga. What's wrong with you? Y'all better tie y'all shoes. Y'all don't know who the y'all. You better put that music up and shut the fuck up. Cause all that other shit ain't gonna get it. On my mother. Your mama dead as fuck. Dig that bitch up. Not going. Now what the fuck you gonna do about that? Not going. I don't give a fuck about how playing. Not going. Posting my mama like your mama ain't dead as fuck. Go put some flowers on that bitch grave. Man, posting my mama legend. Your mama Jay, nigga. Stop, man. Don't never think you can get on this level and you can compete with us. We on a whole different ball game. We got a whole different type of level of respect around here. You get on that do that, you a whole ass. I would say that to your face.
Now, the way that this is going,
I will say this too. Talk about, you know, how dudes get sensitive over your mama jokes. But sometimes before you get to that point of fighting, like, you can get away with a few, right? Usually it take a couple. But the one thing we never played with growing up, and y'all know this, the one thing we never, like, this will get you something. You talk about somebody's dead parent. Listen, and I'm not saying this to say whether or not King is right, wrong, or different. I'm just saying it didn't even have to come out like the way he just said though. He probably wouldn't have finished that. You feel me? Like if you was, and this is going back to the your mama jokes. If you said a joke and whether or not you knew the person's parent had passed away, and that person's parent passed away, it's a wrap. It's a fight, you know. In more recent times, it would be something else other than a fight. But at the very minimum, back in the day, it was a fight. Ain't no doubt about it. Whether you knew or not, it don't even matter. We said, what? My mom, boop, 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 boop. That's it. It's over. Kids these days take it to a whole other level, man. Hey. But who opened the door to that, though? Who opened the door to that? And who knows how 50 might respond to this? But you opened the door. You displayed a picture being 50 Cent, who's known by tens of millions, maybe even hundreds of millions of people. A disparaging pic of this man's mom for the sole purpose of trying to embarrass her. That's the response you get. But they on some other stuff right now, man. I ain't even gonna lie.
It's gotten super duper disrespectful, but 50 crossed the line. I'm gonna keep it 100. That shit's corny.
It is.
You know what I mean? Like, I just think that that's corny. Like, there's no need to attack Tiny. She has nothing to do with it. Even T.I, right? Like, yeah, he said his name because they're talking about a relevant subject that's been going on in the internet as news. But I mean, 50, you know, he always poses it like nobody should say nothing about him, or if you do say something about him, he gonna take it to the fullest extent. But let's be real, man. That shit is out of pocket now. What I think is gonna happen is, because, you know, their son is growing up in this era of this and the dead. You feel me? So that's the way that the youth of today chooses to respond. I believe that, you know, even if it's not public, Tiny or T.I is definitely going to check him on that, because they not them type of people. And not to say that T.I can't be disrespectful, because we know that can be disrespectful with it.
That's an interesting thought. Do you think Tiny and or T.I will check him about what he said? Now, I will say this. If it was my child, I don't mind them defending their mom. I'm not sure about going to the part of disrespecting someone's dead parent or relative, period. I'm not with that as far as that goes. Call me old school, I guess. I don't know. Maybe these days that's standard operating procedure. I don't know. But I'm not with, if my beef is with you, my beef is with you. Even if you took it to somebody else, then it's just going to make me focus on you even more. I'm probably not going to dish your past relative, your dead, especially your dead mom. And so I would tell my son, hey, man, we're not going there with that. But again, it's a new time and a new era, bro. And I guess this is standard operating procedure, man. But it is an interesting thought that, do y'all think T.I and Tiny will say something to him just about that, as far as like disrespecting 50's dead mom that way? Or do you think they'll just be like, it is what it is at this point? It's interesting.
In a totally polite way, or in a totally a totally crazy way on some hood shit, right? But at the same time, they didn't raise him like that. So I think that, you know, that is more of a way for them to check him on the space of like how you carry yourself versus how this carries himself. Now, we all could agree, let's keep it 1,000. That 50 did was whack. End of the day, T.I started the conversation with music, and he always left it at that. He never talked nothing about you disrespectful about your reputation in the street, or you getting shot, or like none of the easy things to poke at, which people have always poked at when it came to 50 Cent. But he kept it all music. I ain't gonna lie, T.I wins this one by default. T.I and the Harris family, they win this by default, because if they want to keep it music and they on music time with you and y'all actually discuss this, like this was a conversation that y'all had that y'all actually discussed, there's no way that you win or get points. You know what I mean? You win or get points for posting others, or they, you know what I mean? And that's just not it. You know what I mean? But King, he also went on to post like a grave of 50 Cent's moms, or a grave, and saying, you know, this where your mama at and all that. Now listen, man, I'm gonna keep it 100. I'm not surprised by none of the stuff that I see anymore. I don't think that nothing is off limits. Not saying that I would partake in doing that type of shit, but I don't think that nothing is off limits to what we're going to see specifically in the future or this year alone. This year alone, we about to see some on many, many, many levels. 50's probably going to clap back with all types of things going at T.I, going at his son. I mean, I hate to see this type of stuff happen, but I'm not blaming T.I nor his family for how they reacting. I'm not telling the offended to not be offended, because end of the day, T.I did not start this shit, and he didn't, even when it came to the music part of it, he was not talking from no disrespect. He didn't violate 50. 50 violated, man. He violated. Tiny don't deserve that shit. But this is how I do it myself. Y'all let me know how y'all feel.
No, all good points, man. I will say in my younger days, I probably would be more along the lines of King if somebody disrespect my mom. But yeah, I don't know. I guess if I grew up in this time, I would go to disrespecting a dead parent. But even back then, it was just like, oh, you said something, I'm coming for you. I might call you all type of names, but like, yeah, they just want something different, man. I'm gonna see how a couple people responded to King's post over on X. 50 took it there by posting Tiny and Lil Bro standing up for his mama. I respect it. And look, I'm not saying that the young man can't stand up for his mom. My question was just, do you think he should have went to dissing his dead mom? Or do you think all's fair in love and war? I mean, I think 50 has shown that all's fair in love and war. And maybe with a person like that, that's how you got to do it. I will say this too, though. With a person like that, if you're going to go there, you got to be prepared for what might come, because he going to go even lower. Remember, 50 ain't just a cornball, bro. He's a dirtbag for real, for real. He's a dirtbag. And he'll do any and everything he can to try to show that he got power and control over it, whatever the situation might be. So if you're going to take it to that level of disrespect, unless somebody can step in, unless T.I, like a level cooler heads to step in, I'm not saying nothing going to happen violently, but I guarantee you 50 going to cook up a way to be even more disrespectful, or to get at you in a way that embarrasses you even more. However you want to say it, man. But yeah, if you go to that level, you got to expect and be ready for 50 to go even lower. I think it's okay to defend your mom. I agree with that part, but don't forget the part we all saw him grow up in Manchester's privileged child his whole life. Yeah, what that got to do with it? 50 Cent versus King Harry. Yeah, I don't know about a fight between them two. I don't think that would ever happen anyway. 50 is losing his juice going after people that didn't ask for it. Bro should just keep making music and films and focus on his hustle, not controversy. And this is facts, man. This is facts. Like, what do you get out of any of this? Everybody knows who you are. People know your shows, man. Your shows typically do very well. Why do you need this? Why do you need to be this level of disrespectful for no reason? If you didn't like T.I, you didn't want to have the verses, just tell them no. Just tell them no. Like T.I said. Somebody say y'all would do the same if it was your mom. Look, I'm not going to tell nobody how to act. Like I said, you say something about somebody's mom, they probably liable to snap. You feel me? But again, he said something about 50's mom. And so who knows how 50 going to respond. This is the perfect candidate for 50 to do what he does best. And what's that? Act like a child. 50 not, or King not wrong. 50 got a black soul so dark shit happens to him. Dead mother, shot 9 times, son hates him, being was a prostitute, bankruptcy. All he does is start shit. I think we need to admit that that's true. 50 does have a dark soul. He's a troubled soul. Let's just say that. And there's nothing to look up to when it comes to 50 Cent. There's nothing you could look at and be like, this is a positive black role model. You feel me? It's just always one thing after another. And honestly, and this is another reason, and you could call it superstition to me. But when it comes to dissing the dead and all that, I believe you put a curse on yourself one way or another. That's why you see a lot of these guys that did that in the past, they're not here no more. You feel me? That's just a whole level of, that's different than getting on, talking to somebody, calling them out their name. Yeah, that might get you out of here too, but people will wait years and years to get at you about dissing their dead relative. And again, I'm not saying this should happen or might happen to King, because I don't think that's the case. All I'm saying is you don't want to bring that, invite that type of negative energy your way. But hey, man, this is where we at. And just think about this. We talking about with 50 Cent. T.I., this ain't got nothing to do with T.I. per se, because T.I. wasn't the one who got disrespectful. T.I. wasn't the one who opened the door. All this negative energy that we got all the way culminating up to so far, what King just said, right, is a door that 50 opened. It's the energy 50 brought. That's what he brings, man. Nothing but negativity, bro. And guess who it's always aimed at? Guess who it's always aimed at? Yep, you got it. So look, man, y'all let me know what y'all think about this one. Was King right, wrong? Do you think his parents will just check him on that aspect of things about disrespecting 50's dead mother? Or do you think all is fair? Do you think T.I. won't say anything? What do y'all think? And what do you think 50's response might be to this? I don't know. I don't know, man. But I think somebody should just step in and be like, hey, let's kind of like tone down this. There should be some apologies. I think 50 need to apologize. He won't, but he should, because that was out of pocket. But he ain't man enough to admit that he was dead wrong for doing that. You feel me? But leave your thoughts in the comment section. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I'll see y'all on the next one.